This little Ford here's had the parts cannon fired at it for a issue that's pretty common on these things, kind of. We get a park brake malfunction service and keys out. It's saying that. Let's see. She starts up and there's our message again. Parking brake flashing. Let's see. Here's the switch. You gotta push the brake down there and then push this. That would be to release, I think. You pull it to set. I can hear it work one of them. Yeah, let me see if you can hear this. Let's set this down here. Hopefully you heard that. So we got something doing something. So let's get a scan tool on this and figure out what's going on with it. Alright, so we've got a 2015 Ford Fusion here, and on the pre-scan we've got two ABS codes, a B1111 with a sent by to 54-AA, electronic parking brake enable, and then a C2007 13AB for the right motor. There's some few other codes in this. I'm not worried about those. Those are only things pertain to why this vehicle is here. A little history on this is they've already replaced the right motor and they've replaced the ABS module. It's actually twice it's been replaced. They brought it to me to program the module, and they said that the module they took off had already been replaced once. It had junkyard writing on it, so they got another module and put it on here and had me program it. So I had it programmed and we get these two codes, and this is the reason why they replaced the module along with the parking brake motor already. So I asked them, do you just want me to diagnose this thing? And they're like, yep, go for it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure out why this right motor isn't working on this thing. Got the car jacked up, got the wheel off here, got a wiring diagram pulled up. This is a simple 2-wire circuit coming from the ABS module back to the motor here. And back here we've got one connector here that goes down to the motor. Okay, not sure if I can get you guys in here where you can see this or not, but there we go. So motor connection. All right, so it's saying we've got an open circuit basically from the EBCM or ABS module back to the motor. So if we just verify we don't have a bad motor or something, let's just back probe this here, and we can run through the apply release setting to try to see if it lights the bulb up. Just got my 2-amp test light bulb back probed in here to the connector, and I just want to see if I control this with the scan tool, if it will turn on or not. And we're just going to do the apply and release test. And what this is actually for is to learn the touch points of the parking brake. So we hit yes, and in a second, yep, so I don't know if you heard the other side run, but we'll do this again so we can watch the bulb here. As soon as the scan tool gets done doing its thing. see if I can get it here somewhere where we can see both things. All right, so function complete. Hit OK. We'll go back through this again. And we're looking for the bulb to light. Nothing. The other side just operated, this side not doing anything. So we are not getting power ground back here to this motor. The wiring diagram does show a few connectors in line. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of them. So we could do this two ways. We can either go to the next connector, or we can go to the ABS module and ohm check each circuit to see which one is at fault. The problem with that is the ABS module is behind the battery back there. Like, I don't even know if I could get you in here to see it or not. Way back in there. Nope. Yeah, you can kind of see the harness just a little bit down there. That's kind of a pain to get to. So I think we're just going to go to the next connector and check it there too, and see if we get power to that connector. So this connector is C3134, and if we moved these connectors over here to this other side, we repeat the test. I've already done that. We get the same issue. The bulb doesn't light up. So we need to go to our next connector, which is C1010, and the diagram shows that being kind of on the firewall in the passenger kick panel area. This connector is actually pretty easy to get to. It's just kind of behind the carpet. I've got my two wires here, back probed, and this is going to be the engine harness side. So let's run the test here again and see if this lights up. There we go. Awesome. So what's this telling us? We've got an issue from this connector back to the back where the brake motor is. What it's doing is probably trying to run the motor to see if it ever touches off, and what it's looking for is current. It's measuring current to know when the brake pad touches. So function complete. My light turns off finally. So now we know that we can figure out exactly which wire it is that's broke from this connector back there without having to take apart that whole battery box and get to the ABS module there. Alright, so before I go too far, I want to verify that this connector is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So what I've got two test light bulbs here. One I have pinned into the top, which we had back probed, and we knew this side is good. And then this other side, or this other bulb here, I've got probed into the other side of the connector. So pierce probed on top, pierce probed on bottom. If the connector is good, both light bulbs should light up. So let's run the test again. Hit yes. Look at this. We only have one bulb lit up. Let's do a little wiggle test. Well, it shut off. But we've got a connector issue. Something wrong in this connector here. Now we could have went ahead and just ohmed all the way back to the back. I'm sure we'd figure out one of these is not connected. So let's go ahead and do that. Since we have it isolated basically to that connector, we can just use our probes that we already have here. And I've got the blue tapped into the yellow wire there, so we're going to put one lead in that. And on the other side connector, we've got the red one in the yellow lead, and we're just on ohms here. That's pretty high resistance for a connector there. 26 ohms. Let's switch over to the other side and see what we have. Two ohms. Why is that reading 2 ohms? Well, that's probably the motor. So let's go to here. There we go, 1 ohm between there and there. And if we read down here, we're probably going to get close to that 2 ohms because it's the motor. 0.7. So that's probably a little low, but it is a motor, so let's unplug the motor and see what we get. Okay. And 16,000 ohms. So there we go. It should read OL though, I would think. So we might have some corrosion or something in this connector. Let's turn the key off. And well, oh yeah, there's got to be something in that connector. Look at this. Yeah, definitely something going on in this connector here. Let's see. Oh, that's got some good tarnish on it. I would call that fretting. If you don't know what fretting is, that's what it looks like basically. Let's get you zoomed in a little bit. Come on, focus. There we go. That's either a corrosion issue or a fretting issue. Fretting is usually from loose terminals. This side of the connector looks clean, but that doesn't mean that it's good. So let's take apart these connectors a little bit and see if we can get this situated. I do see some little bit of dirtiness right there. You see a little bit of green and some brown in here. That looks like water. Same right there, a little bit of green. I think this thing's had a little bit of water in it. I got just this one cover off here, and we have found the issue. If you look in here, you do see a little bit of corrosion down here and some kind of gunk over here. But look at these two pins. You can see the little tab at the top. This first pin is smushed up there. It's not making connection. So we got a terminal tension issue right here that we need to sort out. Let me get a probe and show you that. So I got my terminal lead from my AES Wave terminal lead kit, and if we look at these two connectors, we know this first one right here, this one's a good one, and my lead is actually smaller than what this terminal is, so I stick that in there, give it a little bit of a wiggle. It stays in there, it stays locked. I can feel the drag in it, so that terminal's good. This one here is nothing. There is no tension in this terminal whatsoever. So we need to get this terminal out and see if we can fix that. Just got my little tiny jeweler's flathead here. It's one of my favorite tools for getting these tabs undone. And we're just going to go in here, catch the release, and slide this thing out. There we go. Overall, the terminal's not dirty looking, too bad. So let's see if we can just retension it here. There we go. That's in there. Yep, that feels a whole lot better. Let's see, we can probably give it just a little bit more. And there's like a little hole here in the back. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that or not. Yeah, see that little hole? That's where I'm pressing to get this tension back down. So you can see I got it closed up pretty good. So we're gonna stick this back together and see what happens. All right, so I got this all back connected. So let's see if this motor will now function. So let's hit the apply, hit yes. Is it gonna work? Yep, it worked. Don't know if you would even be able to see this or not, but we'll try it again, see if you can see this. I could feel the motor move. You could probably hear it also. If this will just hurry up and finish. Function complete. Let's see, did our code clear? Let's see, read fault code, retrieve. Let's see. Still showing codes there. Let's see if they clear. These would come right back. So, okay. Alright, so missing calibration. So now we've got our circuit code going. Now we're just missing calibration, which it should have learned when I did the test. This test right here. Let's hit that again. Hit yes. I'm not sure if you can see that. Did you see the pad move a little bit there? Let's see if the code is still there. It kind of ran it a little bit longer that time. That was different. I've not seen it or heard it do the other side, but it was learned. It learned it that time. So no codes. So there we go. This thing had two modules thrown at it, a parking brake motor, and all we had was a bad pin tension and a connector. Oh man. Customer will be happy, I'm sure. So sometimes it's that easy. You just got to learn how to do circuit testing. Let's see. Is their dash gonna go away? Crank this. This should all go away. Yep. And if we push the brake, we can set the brake. We are set. Go away, go away, go away. And let's release that. There we go. There we go, problem solved. I'm sure this customer will be happy to have this thing fixed, and they can get it back to their customer. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys later.